Let's be clear, y'all. I woke up this morning. I have 7 days left at my job. And the first thing I did was write this in my planner for the month of July. I can't wait to have time to be myself again, to read, to create, to explore, to pray, to make smoothies, and to work out. And I'm feeling the feels of having only 7 days left at my job. I'm still processing the words, but the first thought that I had, because I'm on my way to get my daily walk in, y'all know this is day 5 of our walking challenge this week, and then we'll pivot next week. If you aren't a part of the Options Club, definitely click the link in the description. But the first thing I looked at when I was getting myself ready to head to the park was my gear. And I got a little emotional looking at it because this was what I started with. This is what I used to take a leap, to be able to trust myself and make a decision that I couldn't see the results from. But it was more so than like the gear that I picked. It's the simple fact that you can have the best gear in the world, but nothing will outpower or outdo your voice. Like, you can go buy this DJI Pocket 3. You can get the mic to go with it. You can get this like super inexpensive stand, tripod, but nothing will outdo the power of your voice. I'm sorry. When you are just getting started, even this iPhone 17, and baby, this was an upgrade, okay? So I didn't even start with this. She's still new, and she still doesn't even have a case. That's how new she is. Even this iPhone 17, you don't even have to have that. But if you do have a phone, you have everything that you need. Please do not feel obligated to go spend hundreds and thousands of dollars, because when we're trying to overcome and become someone new and get out of our comfort zone of what we're used to doing, we will allow every single limitation to quite literally keep us stuck. And that is not the goal. The goal is to find the power in your voice, find the power in who you are, find the power in your story, and build the confidence. The confidence comes through consistency. And I know I've heard that all my life. I would hear people say that, but I couldn't really find ways where I had consistency show up in my life. Okay, let me backtrack. A few ways it did show up in my life, but not the ways that I wanted it to. Consistency showed through college because I went to school, got my associate's degree, got my bachelor's degree, and then started applying for jobs, right? So I was consistent because that's what I was told I was supposed to do, and I felt like I was grown. We all felt we were grown at 19 and 20. What a reality check. I felt like I was grown, and those were the next steps. My dad pressed me to make sure I pushed through school and excelled, and then I started applying to jobs all on my own. I was consistent there. I was consistent when I had the job, and I made sure I worked hard. I made sure I showed up on time. I made sure that I was the overachiever. I was the dependable one. It was like a badge of honor to have dependable listed on that badge, because yes, I can stay late. Yes, I can come early. Yes, I can do X, Y, and Z for you and anything else. And absolutely, I can, okay, she put in her resignation letter. Yeah, I can do both positions and hold it down until we get someone new. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then consistency was the fact that I stayed in this operational model for over 18 years until breast cancer came knocking at my door. Mind you, y'all, breast cancer was just 5 years ago when I got that diagnosis. So this wasn't even that long ago. I was literally that woman operating like that consistently for all of those years, until I started to wake up and decide to become more of an active participant in my life. It wasn't just the breast cancer. It was honestly when I realized I had beat breast cancer, got a new job, went through some layoffs, and then somehow ended up back in that consistent cycle of burnout, of people pleasing. of looking for my job to give me permission that I wasn't giving myself, of constantly driving to work and having dreams and thoughts of what my life could really look like and how I didn't really want to go to work that day and I wanted to do other things and I wanted to spend my time in a different way. And oh my God, the holiday just came and now we're back at work on Monday. The PTO time was not long enough. I should have took that Monday off. Like, those would be all the thoughts that I would be thinking while I'm driving to this job, or if I had such a good weekend with my cousins and my friends and my family and I just didn't want it to end. Why does it have to end? Why does it have to end? To literally go back to the thing that will burn me out and deplete me. The thing that will call me into work on the most random day when I live an hour and a half away and I know I should have been able to have that day off, but you needed me to be there anyways. And here I was there driving through the rainstorms and the thunderstorms and the rain puddles and everything else just to make it to work. How many times have we risked our well-being just to make it to work? Our safety just to make it to work, our sanity just to make it to work, our mental health just to make it to work. And all I am quite literally doing is constantly making somebody else rich and wealthy. And yes, I am helping people in the process, right? Because I've been in the field of healthcare. I've done fertility. I've done so many different areas and nonprofit. And so yeah, my work, my sweat equity, my hours, they're going into something because it's to offer provision for somebody else. It's to open a door for somebody else. It's to make something a little easier for somebody else. It's to be able to help that family have the baby that they desire and become the mom that they dream of being, right? And yeah, it's not going for nothing. It's just like, at what cost are all of these things happening for me? So now to sit here and think that I made this Delulu jump really to put in my notice, and I have 1 week left at this job, all because I chose to pick these up and just start talking. I just picked these up and started talking. And hear me out. I love my DJI Pocket. It's either a 2 or a 3. They should put the number on here. I love it. I got it on a Black Friday sale, y'all. That's how like committed I was. I knew when I was going to start YouTube. It was in November and I was like, okay, I'm going to plan to start with my phone for the first couple days. And then Black Friday's coming up. I had my eye on this for about a year now. I watched all the reviews on this camera and I was like, this is exactly how I'm gonna start. I don't need a big bulky camera, a A2045, Canon 6228, I don't know, all these letters and numbers and all these cameras that I seen that my friends had, the other YouTubers had. I'm like, that's too big, that's too heavy, that's too expensive. I don't have the money for that. I'm not doing all of that. And I started to just get practical and honest with myself, but realistic more than anything. What do I have and what can I do? So I planned for the Black Friday sale. I planned to purchase the creator kit. I knew that I just wanted a mic where I sound very crispy when I hear my voice. And I knew that I wanted a camera that was low effort that I can take anywhere. And if I had those two things, and my God, I have gone through so many tripods, but this, after over 10 years of tripods, this is it. This is all I need. This is all you will ever need. This is perfect. After going through those things and those checklists, I ended up with these. And it was one of my best decisions ever. Now, I also understood that I was going to go in between my camera and this DJI Pocket. Easy to travel, very small, and I needed to get comfortable with like filming in public. I'm a very like animated woman, if you haven't noticed by now. I feel like I can be a little quirky, or my personality just shows in different ways. And yeah, I have grown very comfortable with talking to myself, and having this made it so much easier. I saw a few creators call it like a shy girl camera, whatever you want to label it. I'm not going to label myself as a shy girl because there's power in the words that we speak over ourselves, but I wanted ease. I need the path of least resistance. As a woman that has struggled with perfectionism, and I mean struggled to the point where it's like, is this a diagnosis? I have struggled with perfectionism for so long in my life. My friends will tell you, when I make a decision, I need it to be the path of least resistance for me. Is that what it's going to do? And this checked off the box. Can I take it anywhere? It checked off the box. Is it lightweight? It checked off the box. I'm a woman where I've also learned when you get scrappy, when you've been in seasons of your life where you didn't have everything you need, but you learned to make do with what you had, and you learned to figure it out, and you learned how to make shift things. I am her. She is me. So I'm like, if I have this is all I need. I don't need the bells and the whistles. And I'm not about to follow what all these creators tell me I need to do, because that's what they chose to do it. And they are not counting my pockets right now. So as a mindful frugal woman getting started on YouTube for the first time, I needed to know that I could, one, make this happen for myself, and two, make it in a way where it wouldn't be daunting, and three, where I could find comfort. So between these things and my iPhone, this is it. And I say all that to encourage you, because that is all that you need too. You do not need all of the elevated bells and the whistles. You don't need the lighting. Find you a great corner. Find you your favorite spot in the backyard. Find you your favorite park, or maybe for you it's decompressing in the car sometimes. Start there and just turn the camera on and start talking. You have everything you need, because guess what? The power, these things are great, but the power isn't in the tools. The power is in the person. The power is in the confidence that you get when you start opening this up and start moving it. The power is in your voice. The power is in your story. The power is in what you got to say. And you may not know how to say what you have to say at first, but you trust me, you will get there. You will learn how to start with your hook, to reel the people in, to get your point of view across, and then you will learn how to elaborate on your point of view to enter into your story. Or maybe you're like me, and sometimes I start with a couple points, because I know me and I know my undiagnosed ADHD brain. That's a video for another day. But I just know how I am. I get very excited too, and so I can kind of go off on a tangent. The points keep me together, and I'm not afraid to show them, because guess what? In real life, people have notes. Like, when do we get to the point of trying to be so perfect on here that we just forgot how we function in real life? I'm sorry, but if you're going to be on YouTube, you have got to find enjoyment, you have got to find yourself, and you have got to show up exactly as you are. If you got a favorite notebook, honey, put your notes down in that notebook and read to us from the points. Talk to us from the points in the notebook, okay? If that's usually how you would call and catch up with your girlfriend, keep it authentic to you. Talk how you naturally talk. Show up how you would naturally show up if this camera wasn't running. And I'm telling you, I promise you, if you choose to just embody even a couple of those points that I said, you will see yourself go so far within yourself, because it builds a natural confidence. You're building a natural relationship with yourself, and there is ease when you go with the flow of who you are versus going against the grain of who you're trying to become, or who the world told you to be, or whatever that influencer told you should do. So trust and know that you got the juice. You are building reps, you are building experience, we are shooting in the gym, and that is how we improve. That's how we get better. These are great extra tools, but these don't have to be the priority when you're just getting started. And if you do have the capacity and desire, like me, where you're like, yeah, I actually do want to invest in a little something, the DJI Pocket is perfect for that little something investment. And trust me, no matter where you are, if the camera is what's most available to you, then just start with the camera. My thing is, I just want you to start. I don't want you to restrict yourself or to hold yourself back from the goodness and the greatness that can come from YouTube, and constantly building yourself up as a person and building your reps in the process. I'm gonna hurry up because they're doing construction and putting gas lines in the street. So I don't know what that machine is, but he's moving slowly but surely my way. So yeah, y'all, I have 7 days left on my job. And I almost want to say 7 days left of my job, thanks to trusting myself, thanks to YouTube, thanks to taking the leap, thanks to just choosing to start quite literally with what I have and see where it goes. I needed extra options. I needed ways to make extra money. I needed to show myself that I can do it. And then, my God, the way that my passions have unraveled themselves in the process of making that decision is literally mind-blowing to me. So, okay, he's moving real close. Uno momento. Back at the park. So, to my point, a lot of clarity comes in the doing when you just start to take intentional actions to become who you want to be. And the thing about YouTube, you gotta have fun with this. You gotta show up like you are the main character. You gotta treat this channel like it is your Netflix documentary. And now I wanna know, what is the name of your Netflix documentary? You gotta meet me in the comments with that one. I'm so excited for you guys, and I hope that you really just take to heart, starting with what you have, because the power is in your voice. And as you build your confidence, it shows in every other area of your life. I kid you not, like the confidence I have even more now when I'm just speaking to strangers and meeting people for the first time. It's like in the back of my mind, I think I'm on my YouTube channel. I have so much confidence now in my words and my voice, and I realize that my point of view doesn't have to be anybody else's, because it gets to be my own, and that's perfectly fine, and that's actually enough. And I lean into that because we have all lived like 18 different lives, you know? And it's cool when you meet people that you resonate with. It's cool when you meet other people that are like your people that are still successful, still moving the needle, but live a life with ease, that are able to travel and still make money and still just create this beautiful quality of life for themselves. Like, those are the coaches that I currently have. And I have them because that's the life that I want. Even as a woman back in grad school right now for counseling, that's the life that I will set up for myself, even as a future counselor. I'm not playing about that, because I always want to be in the business of the work that I need to be doing. And I also want to be in the business of living the most joy-filled life I can live on my own terms. I remember the days, y'all, of driving to work when I was living in Atlanta, and I was reading The Desire Map. I don't know if any of y'all have read that before, by Danielle Laporte. I would listen to the Audible book, and my mind would just dream and wonder of the words that she was saying, because I'm like, how can this be somebody's reality? I'm like, how is that her life? But that's what I want. That's what I want to feel. It was hard for me to subscribe to the hustle. It was hard for me to subscribe to the burnout. And it's like, once you've had like a dose of burnout, you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back. It's like when you find out somebody's sick, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'll see you in a couple weeks when you feel better. Don't come by here. I'll send you something. Don't come to me. I'll send it to you, type of thing. And that's how I started to feel. And I would send that to my girlfriends, because we were all desiring the same aspect. And now to think 5 to 10 years later, it's becoming a reality. This is kind of crazy. It makes me want to go back and pull out those old journals to read what I wrote in them, and to show you guys the date and the time and the feelings and the emotions that I had so deeply. How can the job, the career that we have, the thing that we spend probably over 40% of our time doing, be the thing that is like making us feel the most unfulfilled, but yet we continue to stay in it? It's so hard, right? Because you need to live, you need to survive. But my gosh, when you can figure out how to break out of that and figure out how to do it even unconventional, even as like a rebel, even like in a way that you don't see everybody else doing it, and you relentlessly pursue that, my God, that's crazy. So yeah, I think I'm going to do something else really crazy. I blurted out on one of these videos my goal to help at least 100 women before the end of 2026 start their YouTube channel. I have gotten a few emails and questions about Cohort 2, and I was not going to do this so soon, but I am. I am opening the doors to Cohort 2. Yeah, I'm opening the doors to Cohort 2, and we are starting within the next 2 weeks. So if you've been wanting in, if you've been wanting YouTube to be your extra stream of income, if you've been wanting to build your voice in this space, if you've been a woman that's just been wanting to change your life, if you've been wanting to get paid to be yourself, if you got something to say and you've been sitting on it, honey, you went through that divorce, things happened, and you got a story to tell. You beat cancer, things happened, and you got a story to tell. You have this unique point of view. You are so talented. You love creativity. You're in the arts and you just want to express it and share it with other people, whatever that may be. YouTube is the most beautiful funnel for unpacking who you are, your desires, and who you're becoming, how you help other women, what you do as a business coach, what you do as a sonographer. It is the most beautiful way to unpack it because it has no limits, it has no bounds, but yet multiple ways for you to make extra money, to start getting your time back, to start changing your life, to have an extra day at home with your kids, to be able to say yes or no to a job offer. I had somebody reach out to me, someone close, that they knew I'm transitioning out of work. We've talked about it quite a few times. They actually heard my moments of burnout in real time and need help at their place of business, and offered me a job, offered me a position to just start in the next week or two. And you know what? At first I was like, oh, these hours are so simple. Yeah, I can do that. That'll just be extra money for my insurance and my phone bill. And then I started thinking about it even more, and I'm like, wait, I don't know. Because then I saw oh yeah, if you take time off, you just got to make sure you get coverage for your shift. I was like, oh no, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Renee, if you go back to that, no, that's a red flag. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take my chances. And this is the first time in my entire life as a 37-year-old woman that I have ever been able to make that decision for myself. I've never been here before. I've always needed to say yes. I've always needed to take the job. I needed the money. I needed the salary. I needed to get back on my feet after layoff. I needed the next thing, whatever the next thing was. I've had some crazy bridge jobs, y'all. Crazy. And this was the first time that I didn't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I get to enjoy the rest of my time however long I choose to, you know? Man, this is cool. It's really cool. So, yeah. Cohort 2, I'm opening the doors quietly, and I would love to see you there. If you want to get in, we will meet for 6 weeks, live coaching every single week, because we are literally building your income options, starting with YouTube, getting you visible, and getting your first thing out there. This is exciting. Okay, click the link in the description. I'm gonna finish my walk. Until the next video, my friends, I hope to see you in the room. Peace out.